What do you say?
I said it's Siona. Antonio, why in the first place did you want to become a music artist?
So these are one of those things that you really think you are born to do, and I think I'm born to do that. I remember when I was 5 years old, I had my new era red hat from the Yankees, mimicking Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, and I would go around the house just singing My Generation and My Way, and take a look around. And I would jump, and then I would go to school and organize kind of like, in Portugal and in generally in Europe, you have a thing called ultras. Is kind of like the most passionate faction in soccer that supports, their team. They're like super like excited and flags and stuff. And so I was always super passionate about music, people, and revolution. Like those are my things always. Like I never, like I did sports, and I take really well, take care really well of my body, and I'm very picky. But in terms of like sports, I was never excited in becoming an athlete. I've always been more excited in terms of revolution and people and purpose and music and changing. And so that's why kind of like when I was in San Francisco, as most of you know, and I went to Miami on a one-way ticket flight, and I did my 5-day tech detox. I was there for 5 days, no phone, no smartphone, no communications, nothing. Just a pen and paper and writing nonstop. I was like, man, all the best moments of my life, everything that I've always been doing, always, like even when I was building tech companies, I was creating music all the time, was music. Music has always been there. I've always been creating music. I've always been searching for music. For example, during COVID, I did a virtual concert with 40,000 people. I had Tusi, which is a super famous rapper, and Farina on that virtual concert. And again, was the pleasure of my life because, I love to do that, right? And so, when I did the 5-day tech detox, I was like, like you are purpose driven. You can move people, you can lead people. You created companies, you created products, you did, certain innovations in areas that were really hard to do with new products. Why don't you try, you know what I'm saying? Like to go all in and chase music. I mean, if everything goes wrong, you know how to build businesses and you know how to operate in business. So it's like not, it's not that you'll be homeless or, super dependent on that. So just give it a try. And all of a sudden, a shower of inspiration came. I think it was like a divine shower of inspiration. And man, I just started to compose and firm the ideas that I had back, in the last 10 years, I would say, because my first song that I wrote was in 2015. And, I just started composing again, writing the lyrics, reviewing the songs. I went to studio, I recorded, and man, like for me, I've created products in the past, right? Like I've orchestrated a team of engineers and say, hey, let's build this product left, right, up and down. But I've always had that anxiety of kind of like, fuck, I really want to do the product myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish I could learn how to code to make the product. So in music, because it's all dependent on my hands, my brain, my voice, it's like, I was like, wow, I can actually compose and write and, come up with this idea and bring it to reality by myself, with my own hands, with my own ideas. Man, when you see a song going from idea, just a mumbling that you have during your sleep, you're like sleeping and you're like, and then you compose the song, and then you actually launch it. You go to studio, you record, you assemble your musicians, you tell them what you want them to do, the lines, and then that comes to reality. Man, it's like giving birth. I would assume so. It's like literally giving birth to life, like a new form of life. And it's unexplainable. And then the best thing is like when you share the song with people after everything is done, they say exactly what you expected them to say. Like the reactions, the emotions, the feelings you create in them was exactly what you ideated in studio and what you wanted them to say. And that feeling is like wow, mission accomplished. It's the best feeling in the world. So for me, comes a lot from a purpose-driven, spiritual, really opening people and their spirits to become the best version of themselves. And that purpose to me drives me so much that I know I will succeed because of that. And it's not because of fame, it's not because of money, because in a way I already had all those things. It's literally because of that magic of the connection of me, my soul, my spirit, create something and then impact people's lives with that something that I create.